Hey boys and girls of Clover Ridge Elementary, this is Mr. Lensmeyer here on Thrive Thursday. So I wanted to talk to you about what thrive means to me. So when I looked it up in the dictionary, because I wanted to really make sure I knew what I was talking about here, it means to grow vigorously, and it also means to progress toward a goal despite of your circumstances. So wow, what a better time to thrive than right now since we're in distance learning here at Clover Ridge. So I challenge you to thrive. So I'm going to take you down into the studio and we're going to take a look at some ways to thrive on Thrive Thursday. Join me in the studio. So we talked about thrive for just a minute outside. So we're back in the studio, and during these circumstances, one might say, Mr. Lensmeyer, I'm not in the art room. I don't have access to all those cool supplies that you have in the art room. Well, let's remember that Mr. Lensmeyer has some pretty simple supplies in the art room as well. So let's take, for instance, the good old egg carton. So if we can just find a simple item like an egg carton, let's see what we can do with an egg carton. So the first thing I did was I began to disassemble the egg carton into different pieces and parts. And you can see I've started to cut some of the pieces apart. So what I'm going to suggest for this particular activity is that with the egg carton, we're going to create some faces. So once you cut up the egg carton in different pieces, you'll realize that some of those pieces resemble facial features. So here's some different parts. Here's the bottom of the egg carton. Here's one of the tips. Here's the medium part of the tip. Here's some other parts. Different egg cartons, as you can see here, will have different parts and pieces. This is a 3-egg carton. This is a 2-row egg carton. Here was the lid to the 2-egg carton that I cut up a little bit. I did add a little bit of paint to it. You wouldn't have to. It had some writing and stuff on it, so I wanted a kind of a clean look. So that's what I did here. I cut a little bit out of this one. And once I assemble them, we'll see what Mr. Lensmeyer can come up with. So with a little bit of imagination, Mr. Lensmeyer's come up with these 3 faces using parts and pieces of an egg carton and using the lids to kind of create the face structure. But as you can see here, there's some pieces and parts together to make that face, there to make that face, and to make this long face. So again, you can thrive in difficult circumstances with some very simple materials. Now with any of these kids, you can take those ideas and expand them any way you want. You might even find a totally different use for an egg carton. I just thought I would throw you an idea. Faces are kind of fun because they can be very creative. We as humans relate to the human face, so we kind of see faces in a lot of different places. So I'd like to give a shout out to michellemademe.com and kids booktuscan.com for giving me some of those ideas of working with the egg cartons. So I wanted to give a shout out to them for their assistance in coming up with the idea a little bit. So there you go. Faces out of egg cartons. Who would have thought? Have some fun. Enjoy. Share your results with me on the grade level art slideshow or on your Artsonia account. I'd love to see what you maybe come up with. Other than that, that's all I have for today, folks. So keep being creative, have a good time, and have a creative week. Bye, guys.